This is not easy. Okay. This is like innocent. Okay. This is not easy. How now, round cow. How now, round cow.
Barn Talk, episode 4, here with Tampa Bay Rays minor leaguer Ian Seymour, Virginia Tech alumni, also St. John's Shrewsbury alumni, where I had the good fortune of coaching Ian. Ian, how you doing?
I'm excellent today. You
Yeah?
forgot NEB alumni.
Ooh, also NEB alumni, of course. How many years you play NEB?
From sophomore year to senior year.
And now you're back.
Haven't left, really.
Awesome. So, Ian, just wanted to kind of go through today on some of the things that you've been developing over your pro career, your college career, your high school career. So, first question, are you still upset that you didn't win Massachusetts Player of the Year your senior year of high school?
I guess I just
Because
chalked it
I'm
up to-
upset. I'm very upset.
It was more biased journaling. I think that the guy who gave out the award went to BC High and hung out with them on a daily basis. So
Interesting.
I don't know if it resonates as like a disappointment still. I think I've moved past that.
There you go. Good. Maturing.
It took a while.
Maturing. So for those who don't know, Ian, senior year of high school, hit almost 400, sub 1 ERA, while leading St. John's to a Super 8 championship. I was lucky enough to be on the staff that year and kind of kickstarted Ian and I's relationship, along with coaching his younger brother on our 12U team at NEB.
He's a special one.
He is. The Seymour family, a special family. So moving on, this is your first year training at the barn with Greg. Talk to me about how this offseason has changed for you, if it has at all.
It's definitely a lot different. I think, last year being my first year in professional baseball, I didn't know what to expect, kind of. So this year I had like clear goals, like things I needed to work on from a body standpoint, from a strength standpoint, from a mechanical standpoint. So we've been kind of incorporating all that stuff as like in a much more regimented and like specific plan of attack than there had been in years past. So I'm pretty excited about what's going to come.
That's awesome. Just going to pause here just so you can come out here in front of us. There you go. So we can like walk forward.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to kind of pan, like move around us. All right. Is there one thing specifically that you've been targeting, something that maybe the Rays wanted you to focus on, or just something you kind of picked out in your game?
Yeah, we have the access to all our games, so I was able to watch all of them after the season ended and kind of reflect on what some of my tendencies were, both mechanically and pitch type wise. So I think
Turn over this way.
A lot of it is just being consistent with my delivery, getting to the same positions every time.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is Greg's philosophy of like every throw is going to be different, but you have to dominate certain positions.
Sure.
So if we can get strong in those positions as often as possible, the delivery will be consistent, and then I'll be able to execute my pitches at a higher rate.
Awesome. A really successful year at High A, and then couple starts in Triple A. How do you see last year's experience kind of going from college, pitching in the ACC, and having a lot of success? How do you see now having that success at the pro level helping you this year?
It just kind of gives me an idea of how my pitches work. Because in college, I was really only a 2-pitch guy. I just fastball, changeup. I sometimes would spin a breaking ball, but now I have 4 that I'm working with, and it was just trying to learn how those played off each other. And I thought last year was really helpful in terms of how I was able to figure out how those pitches played with each other. And so this year, I just have a better understanding of my stuff, where it plays, where I want to throw it, what counts I want to throw it, what hitters I want to throw them to. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Awesome. Was there a point throughout your career, whether that be in high school, college, could have even been when you were younger, was there a point where you said, I want to be a pro? Obviously your family, your parents, very successful. You're very educated, very intelligent. So, there could be pressure to say, hey, you need to get into the world of the workplace. So is there a point where, again, you thought, hey, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna, kind of put all my chips kind of in this basket?
Yeah, I guess it's always been kind of like a dream. You grow up loving baseball, wanting to be a Major League Baseball player at some point, but it's never really something that you're like, oh, that's realistic, until one day where you're like, oh, this is definitely something I could do. I'd say probably the summer I pitched down on the Cape and threw really, really well was when I was like, all right, this is something that I could do. This is something I got to go all in on. And that just impacted my performance differently too, because I bought in on everything. I stopped with some of the distractions that I had previously engaged in. I started eating better, working out, taking my throwing more seriously, more focused, and then obviously just buying into that made it more realistic in the end too.
Yeah, and I think people who know you, people around you, whether they're other pros, I think people would describe you as a pro's pro. Your favorite professional's favorite professional, right? Nobody has to tell you to work. Nobody has to tell you to come to get your stuff done. You do it and you enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that's also what being here has been such a difference. It's it's so enjoyable every day. Group we have in here is so much fun. Hanging out with you guys is a ton of fun. So yeah, that makes it super easy.
We love it also. Definitely makes the mornings a little bit more energetic, a little bit more enjoyable.
Especially when they're earlier.
Yeah. So kind of going off when you thought about that, what did you went to Virginia Tech, really good school, big engineering school. What were you studying at Virginia Tech?
Well, I went in as a engineer, which was very time consuming. And then kind of how I said, when I was down the Cape, I bought in on it. I just changed to regular biology major. So it was still broad enough to where if something happened and I couldn't play baseball anymore, I had the opportunity to go pursue something else that I was interested in. Didn't really close any doors for myself. Yeah. But it was so much easier on my time management. Engineering was a lot. It was a full-time job on top of being an athlete, and you had to be bought into one or the other, and I wasn't bought into.
And that's what I wanted to, for our young listeners, our players. How did you learn to navigate that time management aspect of education, baseball, playing in the ACC, as long with, you're a normal college student, so, you want to have a bit of a social life as well.
Enjoy the experience.
Yeah, how'd you learn to navigate that?
It was definitely a process, and one that you had to get better at over the years. And it's just kind of outlining what your priorities are. If you go to college and you want to have the time of your life, then there's room for that. But you're probably not going to be as successful as you want to be in baseball or in class. So you kind of just have to prioritize what's most important to you. And also don't go in, I don't think it's possible for anyone to really know what they want to do academically out of high school. Yeah. So if you go in and try to explore some different avenues of things you might like and things that are going to make it easier on you, because it's a lot easier to learn if you enjoy it. Yeah. So.
And I think some of that experience is sometimes you can't learn things until you're actually in that situation.
Yeah. And it's going to be a process. Freshman year is going to be an adjustment. You have to learn to manage those things, and it's different for everybody. And it's just all about outlining what's most important to you and what you want to achieve.
Yeah, it's awesome. Couple final questions. One, who has the best smile in the Seymour family?
I definitely have the biggest. If you want to laugh, then you're going to look at my brother and just laugh at him because he's a funny kid. But if you're kind of feeling down and need some comforting, my sister's definitely the smile you want to see. So.
Yeah. And are you and Elliot both aware that your sister is the favorite child in the family?
Yeah, it's a no contest. She can sing. She was entered in a pottery competition for some type of pottery thing, and she volunteers at hospitals to hang out with little kids.
Also in nursing school at Penn.
Yeah, also in nursing school at University of Pennsylvania.
So the Seymour family is doing it on all levels, well, thank you, Ian. Appreciate your time. Ian leaves tomorrow to go to spring training. We're going to miss him. We're going to be following him. We're going to be watching him. That's episode 4. Thanks, buddy. Love you.
Thanks for having me.
Stay blessed so you never have to get blessed.